Welcome back to part 2 of our Deva evolution line series. Today we're diving into the Baihumon and Abonwumon courts. And again, I apologize for the way I pronounce all of these names. Quick reminder of the rules: no overlap with the Deva lines, overlaps within previous shows are fine, and as always, Digimon must have been released by March 2002. Alright, let's begin with Baihumon's court. So our first option in here is Makurumon, the Monkey Deva. Makurumon, we're sticking as close to monkeys as we can. For our champion, we have Sepikmon, the Shaman Monkey, who in the Adventure Canon evolved from Armadillomon with the Digi-Egg of Friendship. And I can easily see it being an advancement in Monkey from Sepikmon into Makurumon. And for Rookie, I would have loved to use Monmon, but again, 2003 release. I would love to use Kakamon, who unfortunately only got released this year. So we're going to go with Gaburimon because he keeps that tribal aesthetic to him, and also kind of just looks like he's being color flipped from Sepikmon. And for the Mega, we have the Metal King himself, Metal Edamon. This is just a kind of a given. We would also consider King Edamon, but again, was not released at this point. For our next line, we have Sinduramon, the Chicken Deva, or the Rooster Deva. For Sinduramon, we're aiming for grounded or poor flying birds. So we start off with Cockatorimon. And I don't think there is a better suited pairing in this entire video between Sinduramon and Cockatorimon. It just works so well on so many different levels. For our Rookie, we're obviously going with Beermon, who, if I remember correctly, couldn't fly great in the Adventure universe. Could fly better than Patamon, but still not great. And for our Mega, we're going with our first sovereign for this video, and I'm going to butcher it again, Zuquaimon. I do really wish that the Devas matched up with the courts of the Digimon that were their sovereigns, but this is what we've got. To round out our Baihumon court, we're going to go with a Dog Deva Kituramon. We're leaning into Digimon that looks like they could be a dog, but also could be something else, because Kituramon could be dog, could be cat, could be boar of some description. It reminds me very much of a foo dog, but it could be based on that. I'm not entirely sure. But for its champion, we're going with Caesarmon, which is a Caesar, which is a kind of lion spirit, but also very dog-like. Originally evolving from Labramon, this is our one that kind of breaks the rules for our video, because it did not come out by our cutoff date, but it did come out in the in the Tamers movie. So I'm counting this one in. For our Rookie, we're going with Terriermon, the is it a rabbit or a dog Digimon. And for our Mega, we're going with the definitely a dog, but kind of a robot, Black Metal Garurumon. And he at least gives us a little bit of consistency here. Next, we're going to move on to Abonwumon's court, which starts off, of course, with, I'm going to butcher this so bad, Vicaralamon, the Boar Deva. This one's pretty simple. Actually, this one's kind of all over the place. First up, we have Boarmon for champion. We're going from boar to boar. It's pretty simple. Then we're actually going to use Armadillomon for the Rookie, because Boarmon is actually the Courage armor evolution of Armadillomon. And because this is the tankiest of all of our Devas, we're going to go with Abonwumon as its Mega. After this, we have Kabiramon, the Rat Deva. We're going to try and go with as verminy and pesty as possible. So for our champion, we have Opossumon, which, if you've ever been to America, you know how much of a pest these things can be. And honestly, I do really like the fact that the faces on this kind of match up with our Mega. For our Rookie, we're of course going with Chumon, which is the rat that's always hanging on Sukumon's shoulder. And for our Mega, we don't really have any rats or mice or opossums, but we do have Prince Mamimon. And the fact that he fits in with the balloons from Opossumon, he's spherical, just like Kabiramon. He fits as well as we're gonna get. And lastly, for our Ox Deva, which I'll be honest, thought was a Bull Deva, but close enough, we have the Vajramon, who we are starting off with our Minotauromon. We could also go with Bullmon as an option, which is another one of our armor evolutions. And then for our rookie, we're going with something as hard-headed as a bull. We're going with Gotsumon. And for our Mega, to wrap it all up, we're going with Vikemon. I would have loved to use Olegmon here, but unfortunately he came out in Cross Wars or Fusions, so we're going to wrap it up with the horned-headed Vikemon. Is it a helmet? Probably. I'm still counting it. And that's going to wrap up our entire Deva line. Which of these 12 lines is your favorite? Drop your pick down below, and while you're there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss my next video.